Welcome back, MTG Joe here. Today, I wanted to bring a updated version of Rakdos Burn that I've been enjoying. I've been playing this mostly on like the Saya mobile through my iPad, so I don't have like a huge amount of accumulated stats, but it's been doing pretty well for me. It's been helping me climb this month. Games are pretty quick. I've featured some versions of Rakdos Burn before. However, a lot of those were 16 line versions, which I really didn't like. I'm on 19 lands on this one, and got a couple of configuration changes. So a lot of the versions play the Black Saga. Playing 2 Kumanos here lets me play just more basic mountains. 2 Regavans. I'm going with the DRC and Bauble package as well, which just gets me some free casts, helps me smooth out the top of my library. Not like super heavy in burn with like the Play with Fire versions, stuff like that. Looking to do some more consistent creature damage. We have bolts, we have Skewer the Critics, and then we have Searing Blood, which has been really good for me. Searing Blood dealing 2 damage to creature and then 3 to the player has been a helpful addition. Bowmaster's in there, Eidolon of the Great Revels to tax our opponent, and notably this hits us too, so you want to break parity. And this also is an enchantment for Dragon Rage Chandler along with the Saga, which is kind of cool. So you could get Delirium fairly quickly. Light up stage for some card advantage, and then a Sunbaked Canyon as a single draw source. So I've liked this version here. I'm just going to kind of feature this in part because we're 6 wins away from Diamond, and we can kind of get that rank up, and then we'll kind of play some of the other decks. We got the Necro Storm deck. I got some decent games and some version. I showcased the deck, but the mulliganing was not kind to us when we played. And then naturally I play 2 games off and I get perfect turn 1 Necro and then Storm on turn 2. 2 to 3, which is always how it is, right? You play it, but we will give some goes with this and see how it plays out. This hand here is kind of a trap. Opponent goes first. We could try to draw a land. Actually isn't terrible. I think we actually keep this. Little bit of a trap, so this could be the burn version mirror as well, to which the Eidolons are a little risky. Yeah. So they are going to hit us with Ragavan. Gotta hope we draw a burn spell on top. So we are going to draw that. The question is, do I want to shock? Like I can fetch it out of the way, which I think we do. Okay, so they're breach combo, so they're not burned. So if I die, I'm going to die a miraculous death. So we'll do this now. Not great. Okay, at least we hit the second land. So Eidolon's actually pretty good in this matchup because it can lock them out from being able to breach us. Turn will probably just be Orcish here. Hanging that. Okay, so they hit a breach and a dark ritual and a DRC. So we are short here. They could combo off next turn, so see what we can do. I don't really want to fuel their graveyard. Might not have a choice. Probably just take the damage here. So in our graveyard, we have artifact and land. Okay, they go ritual here. We could just be dead. They have breach. So yeah, them getting 2 breaches in the top quarter of their deck, good draw for them. So interesting, they go Thoughtseize here. They could ping their own Stitcher here. Be interesting to see because they could come close. They're not going to get a huge amount. They need either another ritual or like a tutor that they can then loop Stitcher with the tutor, like a Diabolic Intent, then fuel the graveyard. As of right now, they don't really have a huge payoff. Now, they could just double Bowmaster, which is fairly decent, all things considered. So we see Bow here. They fetch. Go Luris to hand. So Luris to hand doesn't actually cast anything. They have enchantment, instant land. Could try to go the line of attack in. They likely block. They don't. Then I can skewer DRC. If they do block, that puts creature in the yard though, which makes Dragon Rage bigger. So I think we just Eidolon here and say go. They need to have like a ritual in hand to Luris. And even then it's not great. I think we do this. They can rebuy their DRC, but okay, so they get a Bowmaster again. Bit annoying. Oh yeah, if they're just hitting everything. Needed them to obviously not hit there. So land there lets them get Dragon Rage. Running hotter than the sun. Okay, so that puts creature in the yard. So the problem is like I have to do this now to get rid of it. Because any creature I kill turns this on for flying. So then they deal 3. The flip side is I just do it on their upkeep. This gets the extra power, and I think we do that. kill this. I'll keep a lightning bolt on top. Because now I get the prowess here. They take 3, and then they're actually just dead next turn. So even lightning bolt doesn't save him here. Don't know how we managed that one. Just snuck that through. They didn't get the payoff for Storm and they weren't putting enough cards, so usually what you need there is a way to loot. If they had Diabolic Intent, they would have been able to cycle it. But that's what I like about the Searing Bloods. It lets us both be proactive in terms of managing their board while also hitting them in the face. And then DRC there being able to kind of go over the top. My phone is acting up and just picking up the auto voice by itself, but see if we can ring off 6 straight and get into diamond. Opponent is diamond 4. Opponent goes first. Okay, so this is Field of the Dead. Okay, so since they went that route, I'm less inclined. Would have loved to be on the play here. I think we just go bump first. The fact they got 2 blockers is really annoying. Gonna save this for next turn. It could get me a prowess trigger. And then I could put another counter on Ragavan. We might actually wait 2 turns on that. That could just be Devotion. So we'll wait till next turn and then kind of have our big payoff turn. Because I can do Bump in the Night and light up the stage. I'm kind of scared as to what their payoff is. Another Kalani Garden. Let's go Bumpia. Wow, Veil of Summer. Main board too. I mean, gotta do this now. Jeez. I think we still do this. They block the Ragavan. This way we just try to find a little bit more burn, so skewer. Honestly, it's probably better than nothing. So we draw off this. The fact they hit so many Kalani Gardens is really annoying. Bump. We did hit another bump. Let's see what we can do here. Not quite enough damage. Close, but no cigar. We really needed that bump last turn to kind of pay off. We ended up and that's got reach, so just eats it up. But here I don't have enough toughness. Tyrannix is kind of annoying, especially because it got haste for the turn. Weird one. I don't know. I thought they were Field of the Dead. Turns out they're probably just like a natural order pile. I'm never going to play around that in best of one. If they have it, they earned it. And it's funny because it's like bump. It's not even, if it was like any other burn spell, we're okay. This hand's pretty good. So we got a couple options. Probably lead on Eidolon, especially if they're burn. Okay, well, that's fine. Take 2. So we're just gonna main phase this because we want the counter. This lets us play around a second copy from our opponent. Shock lines are good, or like fetches, it's another point of damage. Here we have a couple choices. But I think we're just gonna put Luris to hand. They could Thoughtseize us, but it's 2 more points of damage. These are more, I want to treat them as like reactive spells. Oh, sorry, it wasn't a fetch, it was just Underground River. Oh, they're tainted back. That's the case. Gets me 1 more point of damage in. I basically want to force the action here. I thought it was Polluted Delta first, but they're only playing these. I'm doing this now because it represents some immediate damage. And if they want a Tainted Pact, then they're taking an extra 2 points of damage. Okay, so that's fine. Just gonna do this. This will put a line into the graveyard, but then it'll also thin out my deck. So they were dead on board. But now they're also in a position where their lands really suck, and this bolt going face, we can actually just kind of take them off blue mana here. So usually when you start seeing some of these weird line choices, sure. I'm doing this now just so they can't find anything that's blue or red. So they can cast Tainted Pact, but they can't cast Thassa's Oracle with these lines, so we win. And they can't cast 2 removal spells. Plus then my Luris gets back my Eidolon. So big thing is just identifying your matchups. Knowing when to push in. So like against that deck, it's a singleton deck and they had turn 1 Dotsies against us, which is kind of funny. But once you see any like pain lands, stuff like that. So sometimes you'll see if it's a Rakdos pain land, it's sometimes Rakdos burn. But Rakdos burn doesn't play Thoughtseize, so going in that combination. So just, you get a lot of information. Like Luris on its own does not provide you with the full detail, but seeing the lands and Luris can oftentimes indicate what you're up against. Playing a lot of diamond oneers. This hand is pretty solid. We'll keep. So I'm going to do this first. See what's on top there. Okay, so they're the combo version. They do play Bowmaster, so want to be mindful. Now they could Dark Ritual into Bowmaster. Ooh, getting that is nice. Okay, they Lightning Bolt. That means there's no Lightning Bolt for this. They usually play a couple Fatal Push and a couple Lightning Bolts. And by a couple, I mean 2 of each. So they could breach for the Lightning Bolt. Okay, they go Luris to hand. So here, 9, 11 doesn't quite do it. 9, I think we just do a setup turn here. Depending what they do, I have these bolts. I can also just take out Luris. And if their turn's just like Luris, because they might get so low on life that I have these lightning bolts. So the turn is probably if that's all they do. We're going to go to their end step. Going to fetch here for Bowmaster. Take 2 from here. So to me, this doesn't suggest that they had removal because they would have cast the removal before casting Glarus. So they're kind of banking on the lifelink here to kind of stem some of the bleeding. So just getting out ahead there, we're able to punish them. Kind of get some value. So 2 breaches and a mono green and a Tainted Pact. We go first. Hand is a little sus, but we have multiple 1 mana plays, so we'll give it a shot. Just going to proactively fetch here for black because we're not guaranteed to have another fetch land here. So we want to have options to have this open. We have Bobble. So uncertain at this point if they are burn or combo. Would have loved to land to Bowmaster there, but given that we don't have it, we're just going to do this. Or not the combo, to take this out without having to use a burn spell. Quite annoying. Just set up here. It's likely a Bowmaster out of them. DRC. So the line for them, that should give them sorcery, creature, artifact, land. So they take an Eidolon. Second Thoughtseize might take the other Eidolon here. Could have Breach, to which then I want to kill that. "19 lands. You'd think we draw the line. So just gotta hope they can't combo next turn. They don't have Dark Ritual in the yard yet, and they did take quite a bit of damage themselves. Shambling Ghast. Again, we just gotta play this as though they don't have. They could multi-block here. Get the -1/1. It does take him off a treasure, which isn't terrible. And then we have Bowmaster and this Bump in a Night. Lures to hand. Can I get a land? Thank you. We're gonna do this because then that shuts off this line. Now we should be able to find one more point of burn. Yeah, buddy. So they can't fetch now. And I actually don't think they can breach. They have no actual payoffs for the breach since they can't generate any mana. Got him. This deck's actually pretty solid against the breach decks. This version of breach is slightly different. They play kind of the village right style effects with Shambling Ghast. It's a very similar concept, but slightly different configuration. All right, Metal Worker, we go first. This is all about the bolt your face. Bolt your face. Could be a removal spell. So this is like Zoo, or could be like 5-color Zoo. So Zoo can race us, but they are going to take a lot of damage in the process, especially just because all their lands are going to hit them. So like here, they're already down a bit. So I actually don't mind this because I guess we wait, they attack, and then I have the option next turn. Because there's no sense of us taking damage, they're kind of incentivized here to actually kill this. So if they go Bolt, they could go Leyline Binding, they could go Oko. Oko could be a bit of a problem. We might take the 5 here. For the exile. In your face. Bolt your face. So with the trigger on the stack, Hadouken. Got him. Got him. And they fetched the basic to save them life. That's what I really like about this deck. You can function with very little land. It's very punishing. And with everybody being like, even if they just fetch for basics like 2 or 3 times, it's another lightning bolt. You force them to have the answers on your stuff. Seven and 2 now with it. It's time to go fast. Opponent goes first. So this hand's a trap. You have a bunch of these that you can actually cast and little to no interaction. This hand's kind of a trap. Maybe should have kept the other one. We'll keep this one. Honestly, probably just both of these. Okay, so they're on burn as well. So binning those is actually pretty good. So fortunately, I'm on the the draw, and I don't have a removal for their Dragon Rage on one. They most likely have a removal spell for me. So they get me there, and now I lose the game. They had their opener. We could have tried to protect it for the turn, but don't think we were going to win that long game. We do have bump them, light up the stage, find another land, skewer them, try to win that way. They are the 16 land version. They've already found 3 lands. Okay, that seems wrong. Especially when you're like pretty low on cards, you think that you'd want to keep that. Okay, so the way I win is I have to try to draw a land here. Not the best because it does ping me one, which does hurt. I'm dead to any burn spell here. Yeah, just didn't draw well out of it. I still think this version's much worse. We were multi-5. Can't really do much about that. That first hand maybe, or the second hand where we had double bobble, could have been interesting. But ultimately it's, you didn't have an answer for the threat on one. You were forced into the fact we saw 2 or 3 bump in a nights. Can't really do much there. Those were bolts. We control their creatures much better. Because even then on one, I'd probably just bolt them instead of playing DRC into the threat. All right, this hand's cool. This one's an interesting one. Because I think the line is Fetch Shock, Dragon Rage Chandler, Fetch Mountain. So they have double bobble. Could be burn, could be breach, we don't know yet. Okay, so that's wrong on their part. I'm going to do this now because if I do want to keep something on top, then I can't fetch afterwards. We're going to swiftspear here and Kumano. But yeah, light up the stage to me is worthwhile. Bolts, so they, again, they could be either or. See the light up the stage. You should double bobble when you see a black source, because I could have flashed in a Bowmaster in response. Now they could have Bowmaster of their own, which I can't do much against. If they do, then it's probably put the counter on Ragavan, play this for the turn, hold both light up the stage and bump in the night. They still haven't shown enough to indicate one way or the other. So I think we're just doing this. Doing this. No, attacks this turn. I don't want to attack into Bowmaster because next turn I have a bigger payoff. Now I could have attacked in first. They do the ping, but it yields the same results there. Looted Delta suggests to me they're combo or mid-range. That to me also suggests another Bowmaster, so we're just going to pass here. Okay, so they're Breach Storm. Okay, so you take 3 damage. Kumano's nice there, so we're going to try to find a land here. We need a land. Cool. Okay, more burn isn't bad. Because here they have to block. If they don't, and then the exile from Kumano means they don't actually get the mill. That probably suggests that in hand they don't have access. So either we take the Stitcher off or we take the thing. They could have still won. They just take a block there, but Oni didn't want to play. Can't fault them. Not too bad of a run. Gone 6-2. Lost to burn, lost to mono green. We're really beating up on these breach decks, which is nice. Playing Jan. Opponent goes first. I think we keep this so I can shock DRC Bobble, and that should help me find another land. Opponent does go first. Ooh, double bobble. And again, as we mentioned in that previous game, You want to get this before they can get their second land off. Here they can fetch for Fatal Push. Lightning Bolt. And on top is great. Blood Moon. I'm going to do this after the... I shouldn't have done that. Because now I draw on my turn, so it does open them up. I screwed that up. And I just didn't wait. That was dumb. Dumb. Never punished. I think here, because Blood Moon's likely coming down next turn, I'm going to lose access to the bump in the night. So we're going to do this now. And I want the third land. So Blood Moon comes down. Here are the critics. And then we'll play Eidolon. We're going to be incentivized to kill Eidolon here. Oops. Overcooked gamer. So that's 2 to activate. I attack for 3 in the air. They can never cast another spell. Get them that way. So slight, I literally said don't do this and then I did it, so. Let's give it one more, let's see if we hit diamond, and then we can play Bruise. We can go back to playing Bruise. All right, name I cannot pronounce. And I don't think I can keep. There was a fetch I'd keep, but without a fetch, I don't think we keep. Keep, put back sun-backed canyon. I think we just passed the turn here. Actually, should have kept the fetch land first, because I could have got an untapped land. So they could Bowmaster here. I may want a Searing Blood, so let's just pass turn. We can take it slow. Put Luris to hand. But I think we just pass here. Because even if they go Shieldred here, then I have enough burn to kill it. Which is important. Their Devotion deck. What's Karn gonna get? One ring? Kill Karn here. So that'll be for a following turn. So let's bump you. Get some card draw. They'll play around the first bowmaster potentially. They're gonna have protection for this turn, so I can't do much about it. Could be fatal push. Yep. Bit more of a slower game this time. I think we just say go. I have double bolt for Shieldred. Or like double damage, which we might need. Kind of annoying. Save the fetch. They most likely have removal here. I take 3 here. They get their bowmaster to ping mine. I ping their face. Just gotta dodge Shieldred. If I can dodge Shieldred, I'm okay. They're probably like also on March. Okay, we've drawn a lot of lines this game. I'll hold off for Luris for next turn. No point of getting it exposed there. Fortunately, I cannot kill a Shieldred. They're going to take my Luris here. They have Shieldred, they have it. I can't do anything about it. Could see another One Ring. Probably playing 2 to 3 on the main board. Dark Ritual. If this is a big march, we're gonna kill our own creature in response. Okay, so they did find Shieldred. Kind of annoying. They found the second One Ring. So literally perfect. They needed that exact amount of mana. They get the protection, and now they're going to gain the life, so needed to dodge that. Couldn't. And now we die. Can't even target them. Yeah, we're just dead. That one's frustrating. The exact... If they don't have Dark Ritual, they can't do it. If they don't have Shieldred and One Ring all in hand. Like, I knew they draw the... But they were only a third of the way through their deck. And I don't think being any more aggressive that game really mattered. If we had... But the thing is, like, I think even if we had Luris, they were going to have so many cards in hand that it didn't make much of a difference. And at that point, they're just going to find a march. Some timely draws from our opponent. We can try this. I'm gonna fetch here because I want to thin out my deck. So normally I wouldn't keep a hand like this, but because I have second Kumano that can trigger light up the stage, I can get some card advantage. That's right. I'm gonna kill Death, right? I don't want him to get like turn 2 Oko or Uro. Next turn, can attack in. So a little flooded here. Halfling. Guess I probably should have held off on the land. Bolt here. Basic. And we'll go Monkey. Could see Uro or Oko next turn. Can't do much. Minsk and Boo. They go defense there. I think we go face. So my thought is, because if I attack both of these into Minsk, they block Ragavan. I'm using this bolt regardless. Maybe we should just be going face here. Could take him off this. Which isn't bad. I think we do this. Gets rid of a blocker too. If I go face, they block in the same way, but they're left with thing. I still think it's right, because I don't want to leave them with Minsk and Boo for a second turn. It's an interesting, like, how to arrange your attacks decision. Alright, try for diamond again. Tronald Dump. Classic Tronald Dump. This hand goes hard. No Fatal Push, no Thoughtseize. No Fatal Push, no Thoughtseize. No. Said no. Bowmaster. Eidolon. Alright, I'll draw 3 cards. Oh man, I was gonna deal so much damage. I'm gonna go Eidolon here. I know they can flash in Bowmaster, they can kill it, but this will also put an enchantment into the yard, which I like. Unholy Heat, take another 2. And Deathrite. So we will ping the Deathrite here. Blind? Yeah. One block. I'm doing this because I don't really draw cards with this deck, and that can gain them life and also help them ramp. So we have Delirium now. I think we just do this. Do this. This will force a play out of them. So if they have a second Bowmaster, they have to do it now. And then I think we just wait till next turn. No sense of attacking in here. They could still have the Bowmaster and just choose. So now we play a game of chicken. And the big thing here, I've established Delirium, so we can kind of go over the top. So there may be Death Shadow. Sokuzan's a card you don't see that often. Damage. So we're going to take a little bit of damage, but the goal here is to find another burn spell. We got Bump in the Nights, we got things, and this also puts it out of range. So they can double block on one, they can block on the other, but they're actually out of the point where they can't cast another spell for the game. So I think we just attack. So they can't actually do anything. They can't fetch, they can't play spells. We blow up their heads. Alrighty. Diamond Gamers. So that's a burn. Let me know what you think, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.